Hello children, I welcome you all to our English class of class 9. Today we are going to discuss our Unit 7 Theatre. In this we are going to deal with our Reading B, Antony's speech, and Reading C, Mahatma Gandhi pushed out of the train. So let's listen to them. Now let's listen to the summary of Reading B, Antony's speech by William Shakespeare. Before we begin with the play, let's know about the author first. He is none other than William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare, from the year 1564 to 1616, was an English poet and playwright widely regarded as the greatest writer and the dramatist in the English language. He is often called as England's national poet and the Bard of Avon. His surviving works, including some collaborations, consist of about 38 plays, 154 sonnets, 2 long narrative poems, and several other poems. His plays have been translated into every major living language and are performed more than those of any other playwright. He was an important member of Kingsman Company of Theatrical Players from roughly 1594 onwards. He is such a great writer, known for having more insight into the characters' feelings and motives, and cleverer handling of light and dark, change of pace, and weighing up of right and wrong. Not only did Shakespeare teach us about ourselves and humanity, but he also invented around 1700 words which we still use in everyday English today. Let's know about the summary of Reading B, Antony's speech. This speech is an extract from the play Julius Caesar, written by William Shakespeare. Julius Caesar was a Roman emperor with great political power. Brutus was once his close friend, and he thought that Caesar became ambitious and even feared that Caesar would become dictator soon. So he made plans to kill Caesar with the help of other senators. Covering their faces, they stabbed Caesar really bad and killed him brutally. Antony, a great friend of Julius Caesar, gave a rousing speech to the public, keeping the dead body before them. Antony made his speech in favor of Caesar with adding a satire against Brutus without disrespecting him. He ironically used the words honorable and noble Brutus repeatedly. He began his speech by saying, "Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears." After brutally stabbing Caesar, Brutus convinced the Romans that Caesar was ambitious and he was a violent and cruel ruler. The Romans were convinced by Brutus' words and put everything in their minds. Antony, friend of Caesar, with the permission of Brutus, faced the angry group of men and made it clear that he had come to deliver a funeral speech and not to praise Caesar. He then reminded them the general attitude of the people and said that same is the case with Caesar. He then even said to the people that they would speak about the evil deeds that men do for a long time, but good things done by them would be buried with them. Antony says to public that Brutus, who was a noble man, told everyone that Caesar was ambitious. If being ambitious was a serious mistake, then they could all see that Caesar had seriously paid for it. Antony says that he had come to speak with the permission of Brutus and other people involved in killing Caesar, mentioning all of them as honorable men. Caesar was ambitious and he was a faithful friend of Antony, but Brutus calls him ambitious. Yet Antony says that Brutus was an honorable man. Antony slowly worked on the emotions of Romans by recounting and restating the good deeds of Caesar and satirically calling Brutus as honorable man. He did so because they were all under influence of Brutus' words. Caesar had won many battles and brought many captives, the Roman soldiers, to Rome. The enormous wealth surrendered by them filled the treasures of Rome. Antony asked whether making Rome rich was ambitious. Caesar was sad and wept when the poor cried. If Caesar had been ambitious, he would have had a heart with no empathy. Yet, Brutus says that Caesar was ambitious. Antony reminded the people that he himself had presented the kingly crown 3 times to Caesar on the Lupercal, which he had refused to accept. By doing this, Antony has clearly contradicted the statement of Brutus that Caesar was ambitious. Antony cleverly created in the minds of angry men slowly that the Caesar was not ambitious and Brutus might not be a honorable man as he appeared. Antony may not be so influential as Brutus was, but he was not saying all this to prove Brutus false. Instead, what he said about Caesar made the angry men of the Rome to remember that once they loved Caesar for his kindness and the way he took care of his people. He questioned them what was stopping them now from mourning for their king. He says that they had lost their reasoning power to think. The power of judgment of people to believe words of Brutus would be a wrong thing to do. He says that his heart was in the coffin with Caesar and he must pause till it comes back to him. So that's about Antony's speech. But once think, did he pause to regain Caesar's heart, or was it a clever break given by Antony that had forced the crowd to decide if they were truly understanding King Caesar's efforts and love for them? Let's listen to the summary of Reading C. Mahatma Gandhi pushed out of the train. Let's know about the author of this play, Richard Brierley. Richard Brierley, born on 25th August 1925, was educated at the University of Michigan. As an American writer, he is best known for his screenplays of biopics. He won the Academy Award for the Best Original Screenplay at the 1982 Oscars for Gandhi. Brierley also won the Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay and the Golden Globe Award for the Best Screenplay Motion Picture. So let's know about the play now. Let's know about the play Mahatma Gandhi Pushed Out of the Train. This play explains a bitter experience faced by Mahatma Gandhi. Once in 1893 in South Africa, the young Mr. Mohandas Gandhi was going to Pretoria to attend a case for an Indian trading firm belonging to a rich merchant, Dada Abdullah. So Gandhiji was travelling by train to reach the place. He had brought a first-class ticket through the post, so he was in the first-class compartment. An Englishman who passed that way couldn't believe his eyes. The Indians, that is, the colored people, were not allowed in the first-class compartment. So he was wonderstruck when he saw Gandhiji sitting in the first-class coach. He left the place immediately. After some time, the Englishman came back with the conductor. They ridiculed Gandhiji and asked him to leave the first-class compartment and warned him to move to the third class, or he would thrown off at the next station. He then told them that he was an attorney and had first-class ticket. They didn't agree with this point. Their point was that there was no Indian attorney in South Africa. Gandhiji produced his identity card to prove it. Gandhiji then told them that he had travelled in England in first class and never he had faced any such issue, but that didn't serve his purpose to be allowed to sit in that coach. When the train reached Maritzburg station, both the European and the conductor forcefully took Gandhiji's luggage and threw them out on the platform. They forced Gandhiji and pushed him off the first-class compartment. Gandhiji felt disgusted and humiliated for his position on the platform. So children, this is actually a great incident which inspired Gandhiji to lead a movement against the British using non-violence as his weapon. He became successful and later he became a great ruler. You all know him, right? By joining the National Freedom Movement. That's about this play. Children, I hope that you understood the summaries of Antony's speech and Mahatma Gandhi pushed out of the train. Thank you for staying with me in the class, and until we meet in the next class, I wish you all happy learning.